welcome, America. That's right. This is the King's Broadcasting Network, and you are now tuning in to the Invent America show with the inventor lady herself, with myself, the Cajun contractor Michael King, with inventor lady Rita Crompton. We want to welcome all of our Home Talk USA radio audience that's carrying over to the Invent America show. I'm often asked, Cajun man, can you explain Home Talk, Invent America, Made in America? Guys, it's just one show. But what we've done, and we find it more effective since we cover all these issues, is when we talk at Home Talk, we're talking to the manufacturers, we're talking to the products, the technologies. But when we cover all the Invent America issues or how to get your product to market, we were scheduling all over the clock here, all over the spectrum. So we wanted to focus specifically on that, and it's been a real successful venue, just like the Made in America. So that's basically right, Rita. We'd like to welcome her now. But Rita, we're trying to make it focus and narrow into one subject matter, that where we can focus on that one subject matter. And that's the reason why we broke off one big show with three little small umbrellas. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And it's so wonderful the way they overlap and work together. We've enjoyed watching it evolve over the years. And, because so many of the shows that you were doing, they started with an inventor solving a problem.
Yeah.
Well, how did that inventor get there? And then, on the ones that had products and they were made in America, well, let's share that story because every inventor's got a story. So, it's really been interesting the way things have evolved and yet how they fit together so well. And, it's exciting to let the American consumer know how challenging it is and what the inventor has to go through. But for a lot of folks out there, it's like, the fantasy is, being able to come up with an invention someday. Well, this is what you have to do. This is what you go through, and, avoid these mistakes and, focus on this. So it's been fun telling the stories and, sharing the backdrop of all these inventions that people can find out there.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because we've been, in radio, let's face it, in radio, nobody listens to like 3 hours straight. They come in, they come out, they come in and out. But if you advertise in advance and say this is going to be the agenda of the day, then you have more of a target audience, and that's what we're trying to do, is have a target audience to discuss that particular home need, construction need, home improvement, invent.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
How about Christmas need? Okay, because we are entering the Christmas season, and so many of these inventors would love to be able to get you to buy their products right before the Christmas season. But it is amazing how people can get so excited when they get something. I never saw this on the market. I used to do that for my family, is that they'd get new products that were just getting into the marketplace, and they were always so excited. It was the whole show around Christmas was the new products that I was promoting and coming into the marketplace that I shared with my family. And we always had a really good time. So, heck, guys, it's a fun conversation when you give somebody something that's brand new that they didn't even know was available out there, and you say, okay, this is a cool new invention.
One of the most important things that we have to discuss, man, is managing your time. I mean, the persistence has to be there, and that's the biggest downfall that a lot of young inventors have. They have no clue about a plan and how to manage that time, right, Rita?
Oh, absolutely. And life gets in the way for all of us. I mean, a year ago, we had a hurricane coming through here. And, you pull yourself up, you brush yourself off, you get back on track. And I tell inventors, it's like everybody's got time issues. That is the one thing we've never learned how to invent more of. Once the time is gone, it's gone. You can always make more money, can't make more time yet. So we look at then, how do we manage that mess called life that gets in the way? Well, you brush yourself off and you get back on track. And for a lot of inventors, they sign up to go to a trade show. I know Deb she's going to be a guest. She's already signed up to go on to the show that's coming up. And it helps keep them on track because they've got a deadline. And a lot of times that deadline is like, I'm going to go to the Inventors Roundtable meeting because Rita's going to ask me, what have I done since I was there last? And I need to know that I've got to have an answer for her. Time frames, deadlines, that all helps to keep our inventors on track and moving forward. And that's what we want to do. We want to be able to offer kind of a framework of time so that, the inventors would say, well, I was working on this and now I found one out there that's just like it. We had some inventors that did that just in the last couple of weeks, and they were so upset. It's like, because you didn't file your intellectual property, you're behind now. And they beat you. We had one that was 2 days. It was like 2 days of the filing dates on their patents, and they were just heartsick. And, it happens, but time is not your friend when it comes to inventing. It's just not.
No, it's not. And timing is everything, to be honest with you. You have different sorts of timing,
Oh, yeah.
Like I say, success occurs when opportunity meets preparation. That's just the bottom line.
I
It
like
goes
that.
back a long way. Opportunity must be preparation. And how many times you might have that opportunity, and we've discussed this, but you're just not prepared, or you're prepared, man, you're ready to go. The timing's just not right. And
Yeah.
then,
Oh, and that makes a huge difference. I mean, there's
yeah,
inventors who'll come up with an idea, they file their intellectual property, but the technology is not there yet to make it at a price the consumer will pay. And then, 10, 15 years later, now technology catches up. Now they can finally make it at a price the consumer will pay, but now the patent is almost expired. So staying on top of things, and a lot of inventors, man, they really watch that technology and how it relates to their patent. And so they will, sometimes they keep filing stuff. Sometimes they'll add new technology to it and new filings to what they've already filed. But boy, you've got to watch it. And I always say that managing time is persistence. You've got to say, this is important to me, and I am going to be persistent with it.
yeah, you're right. But man, tell us a little bit about the show today. We only got about a minute left, a couple of minutes left.
So, well, Carol is going to be on, and he's one of those that he's been working on this for 10 years, so time is really an issue for him. But technology now is caught up to it, and fortunately for him, he can still his intellectual property is fairly recent, so he's good to go on that. And Deb is out there with a new pet product. And she will be going to ASD Market Week. She's been manufacturing, so she stayed on top of this. I've had, like I said, I was sharing the story with a couple that had done some work on something, and it just, got away from them because they weren't paying attention. And another gentleman this morning, he, was talking all about the research, and he's got his business plan. It's like, I don't want to see a business plan. I want to know, did you do a search, and did you get some intellectual property filed? Because that's what we have to work with. And so we do pay attention to time. And then Don Skaggs is our industry expert. He's been working with inventors for 2 decades, like I have. He's got his own products out there. So he has watched time slip away from inventors, and he's going to have some good insights for us. And
Yeah,
inventors are still dealing with the fact that consumer is God when it comes to pricing. And
yeah,
there are things, it's like when we did the flagpole a few years ago,
yeah,
it was going to be $175 to do that flagpole in
yeah,
America. All
yeah.
right. When we did it overseas, okay, $6.75. And
Uh,
okay, that was sent already boxed, packaged, and in a pallet to her driveway, as
all right.
opposed to a bunch of poles falling out of a big cargo box.
Now we're going to take a short break. This is Invent America Show. This is Cajun contractor Michael King with the inventor lady herself, Rita Crompton. We'll be right back. Yay! I'll come back now. You hear?